Tonight we have a new smart stream leaks from the Ministry of Defense that shows another high-velocity payout day for all amounts under 10,000. But are they trying to escape the scrutiny of the Contractor General? And the Compo speaks tonight. He tells us that they are trying to get into Alberto August's phone. Also, Julius Espad, he's the first architect to become a police minister. But has the one-time firebrand been defanged? We'll look back at prime Pernacious Julius and compare him to today's tame team player. Plus, Belize's food heritage, hunger and memory will show you how food transmits culture and history. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, June 24, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The biggest soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
The Isabel Palma Polyclinic 2, located in San Antonio, Toledo, conducts outreach visits to some of the most remote communities in southern Belize at least twice a month.
Here in the Dolores village, it's approximately 3 hours from San Antonio. As you all can see, it's a remote area. There's basically no electricity, no telecommunication services. Since it's very difficult for the people to reach to the clinic, we've decided to bring the clinic out here and provide different services. For example, today we are with the maternal child health. We also have a booth out here giving health educations and some games. We also have 3 doctors with us today doing general medical checkup. We have our nurses doing our triage. We also have pharmacy with us and also a lab. All that is being done here today is being covered by the Isabel Palma Smart Polyclinic 2 San Antonio NHI clinic.
They're not just cigarette. Vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud they not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, or heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world, the Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. From rest to adventure. From nature to culture. From luxury to freedom. Every vacation imaginable, except snow, and we plan to keep it that way. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
You're up.
These charter remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the
Northern
2023.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Cherie Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The biggest soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
The Isabel Palma Polyclinic 2, located in San Antonio, Toledo, conducts outreach visits to some of the most remote communities in southern Belize at least twice a month.
Here in the Dolores village, it's approximately 3 hours from San Antonio. As you all can see, it's a remote area. There's basically no electricity, no telecommunication services. Since it's very difficult for the people to reach to the clinic, we've decided to bring the clinic out here and provide different services. For example, today we are with the maternal child health. We also have a booth out here giving health educations and some games. We also have 3 doctors with us today doing general medical checkup. We have our nurses doing our triage. We also have pharmacy with us and also a lab. All that is being done here today is being covered by the Isabel Palma Smart Polyclinic 2 San Antonio NHI clinic.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight we have more leaked screenshots showing another pattern of structured payments from the Ministry of Defense to a high-volume supplier. But this time it's not a company owned or operated by members of the Mira family, But it is the same ministry and the same pattern of payments hovering under that $1,000 threshold to escape, that's $10,000 threshold to escape Ministry of Finance oversight. Jules Vasquez reports.
Tropicana is a popular footwear and clothing store in downtown Belize City. Formerly known as Gaylord's, its website boasts that it is a male fashion store established 40 years ago. It is owned by the Hutchandani family, a well-known name in downtown retail clothing. And smart stream leaks received by 7 News show that in February of 2022, it was the beneficiary of a single-day windfall. 19 payments of $9,476.65 each, totaling just over $180,000 in a single day. They used the exact same invoice number for the entire run of payments, merely tacking on a hyphen and a trailing number to enter the cloned invoices. The current CEO, who was not there in 2022, could not specify what the payments were for, but he said the company did supply uniform items in the past. Such supply contracts are usually awarded after a published tender notice and a selection process to choose a successful bidder. A contract is then sent to the Contractor General for approval. Once approved, the contract is signed and an invoice issued for a 50% down payment, which is then paid by the Ministry of Defense with the approval from the Ministry of Finance. Former suppliers tell us that's standard operating procedures, but in this case, with this succession of sub $10,000 payments, it's difficult to say what happened. But could this have been an attempt to undermine procurement procedures and bypass a Contractor General who must approve all contracts over $50,000? A formal inquiry from an aggrieved supplier's attorney regarding a uniform contract yielded a damning admission from the Contractor General. The CG bluntly concluded this matter was executed without the certification of review by the Office of the Contractor General. We only got leaks of 2 months of payments to Tropicana, which is a well-connected, high-volume, high-value supplier to government. The 56 total invoices we saw amount to $247,353.72. All payments were below $10,000 and were made on behalf of 11 government entities. Speaking in general terms about this type of succession of sub $10,000 payments, the financial secretary says something's definitely amiss. Here's what he told X News.
Clearly there's a breakdown in the system. It wasn't intended to work this way. It takes, in our system, there are levels of approvals, depending on the amount of money. From what we see, that there was a deliberate effort to fragment payments, break them down to below. But I'll wait to see what the audit reveals. But sure enough, certainly it doesn't look good. And in my view, I think what happened is that either somebody dropped a ball, fell asleep, or worse, that they moved together on it.
We did speak to Arun Hutchandani, who is the business owner's husband. He said he was traveling and would have a comment for us in a few days. Going back to the Mira family business, yesterday the Prime Minister expressed disbelief that there were at least over 1,000 payments under $10,000 from the Ministry of Defense to businesses owned by Mira family members. Here's how he reacted when we asked about it.
With the Ministry of Defense, we saw over 1,000 payments below $10,000.
1,000 payments?
1,000 transactions.
1,000 transactions was certainly
From the Smart Stream screenshots leaked to us, which show only a portion of the payments between 2020 and 2026, there were 1,204 payments under $10,000. By hovering beneath the $10,000 threshold, the payments did not have to receive oversight from the Ministry of Finance. Of the hundreds of rows of entries we have reviewed, less than 5 payments to the Ministry of Defense were above $10,000. Here are still at least 400 ledger entries from Mira family companies which have not been leaked, so the total number of payments will be greater. So far from the screenshot leaks we have seen, the Ministry of Defense purchased rations for the BDF and Coast Guard from Mira's fruits and veggies, MP Farms and Stanley Mira. Late this evening, we have received another smart stream leak for another Mira connected company named Fast, and we'll have a preview of that later on in the news. But the commissioner says that does not extend to air conditioning repair services for the police department, which rumors suggested might be provided by a Mira family business. The commissioner deflected that today.
Did Mr. Mira at any time instruct the police department to acquire AC servicing and installation services from his brother Cyrus or FT Williams?
I can say that at no time did the minister or anyone instructed the police department to purchase from any supplier.
Did the police department use FT Williams for its air conditioning repair, and is the contract for those services based on receiving multiple estimates from other service providers?
The way the police department is structured, we have the accounting officer, which is the CO. The CO then delegate authority to myself and my 4 deputies. My 4 deputies oversee the different units that fall under them. They have different suppliers. I do not know the specific suppliers that each one would engage, but we have a number of suppliers that have worked with the Belize Police Department.
And while the Compol resisted that Mira connection, tonight he's talking about the cyberbullying investigation into Alberto August. We asked if the PM was the one who instructed for the release of Alberto August, and here's how Rosado answered us.
When Alberto August was arrested, did the directive for his release come directly from the Prime Minister?
Man, sometimes I don't know where to get no information from. Since I assumed tenureship as the Commissioner of Police, no politician have ever called me to ask for a favor. But what I will say is that in terms of, the matter is before the court with Alberto August, so I don't want to discuss in detail. But the public need to understand that while they have a right to freedom of speech, including political discourse, political commentaries, or even criticism of policy, there's a legal threshold when you intentionally use social media to demean, to humiliate, or to spread false information. Those conduct do not constitute protected speech, and it's liable to, or may be held for criminal liability for those individuals.
However, did the police department seek advice after the fact, meaning after the arrest, in the case of Alberto August, and sought internal legal advice only?
The police department have an entire team of legal advisors that whenever we have incidents that require them to seek advice, they seek from our team of legal advisors that are posted within the police department.
Should it be the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to direct whether the department should pursue a charge in the first place?
There are certain criminal offenses that the law requires us to consult the DPP. Other than that, once there's a necessity, we seek a guidance from our legal advisors within the department. I am confident that an offense was committed, and I'm confident that the police department will have a successful prosecution.
And police have kept possession of August's 2 phones, and as we told you last week, they even planned to go to court to get a warrant to search it. When we asked the commissioner, he claims that they haven't unlocked his phones as yet.
Is there any truth to the police department trying to get into or get access to the records on Mr. August's phone?
Please appreciate that there's certain protocol, certain procedures that the investigator must follow whenever they're investigating crimes that involve digital evidence.
So, but you all had access to his phones, correct? Is it that you could not get into them? Because what he's alleging is that you are using technology and to access his phone remotely.
Sometimes I wonder where the media get those.
That's his claim. That's what he says. That's what he's posted on Facebook. So we get it from Mr. August.
Let me say this. We have one specialized unit within the police department that is in Belize City that have a license and operational Celebrate that is used to extract and analyze digital evidence. However, before we access any devices, we must seek the warrant from the court. And that process is being applied for us to get the warrant in order for us the necessary extraction analysis to be done.
So there's nothing questionable in the fact that one police officer pursued the complaint from Minister Mira, and it's that same officer being pointed to in terms of accessing his phone. That's the investigating officer?
The investigating officer is the person who is applying to the court for the court to grant the warrant for them to access the device.
It's been a few weeks now since the LIU program has been put on pause and its members have stopped receiving a stipend. The then Minister of Home Affairs, Mira, had told us that the program had not stopped, that they were simply conducting a review of the program. But when we had asked the Prime Minister, he told us that the LIU was never intended to be used as a long-term employment program and that the $3 million annually being used to support the program could be funneled elsewhere. We followed up with the Commissioner today for an update on the program, and he says that the assessment is still underway.
You were one of the architects of the LIU program. Now that it has been put on pause, are you guys prepared that these youths may choose to retaliate against the state?
You'd have to appreciate that social intervention program must be based on evidence. And under Mr. Mira tenure, certain feedback we receive that require that us to do some assessment of the social intervention programs and based on to determine whether they're actually having an impact. I believe by doing an assessment, it gives us the opportunity to show that we are accountable, transparent, and we embrace evidence-based approach, and we embrace continuous improvement. So it gives us the opportunity to make a thorough assessment of what needs to be done.
When did that assessment start, and when will it conclude, and will those results be made public, being as it's youth from our own society who are beneficiaries?
Please appreciate that only one or two programs is currently under assessment or on a pause, temporarily on a pause. The then Minister Mira, and CEO and I, we sat with the director of the LIU. The minister explained his position to the director. They were given, I believe, a month or two notice to inform the individuals on the ground of the programs that will go under assessment. So there were ample time for us to do the necessary adjustment, and everybody involved knew about the adjustment or the assessment that were being made. The assessment is in the process of wrapping up, but we do recognize that whatever social intervention program we implement, there must be meaningful behavioral change, and hence the reason for the assessment of certain programs.
And for sure, the new Minister of Home Affairs will definitely want to have input on the restoring of the LIU. We also asked Rosado whether or not he has met with his new minister as yet.
Well, our meeting is scheduled for this afternoon, but I had a brief discussion with him, and I believe he brings a fresh perspective to policing. His perspective will be able to challenge our assumption and create better strategies for us within the police department. I gather that he supports a more balanced approach in policing, one that encompasses combining effective policing with targeted social intervention program. And I do support that initiative because it will be able to allow us to suppress crime today and prevent it from happening tomorrow. I believe the leadership within the police department, whoever is the minister, we will work along with them, and I believe that they all bring a fresh perspective that will challenge our assumption in how we do policing.
And Minister Rosado won't be meeting the same politician we've gotten to know since he was first elected 12 years ago. The Julius Espat who once sat on the opposition's bench was fiery, passionate, righteous, and hot-headed. But the Espat we spoke to on Monday didn't seem to have that same fire. In a political analysis, Courtney Menzies looked at some of Espat's more controversial moments. Here is that story.
It's been 2 days since Julius Espat was made Minister of Home Affairs, and let's just say he seems less than excited about it. In fact, he admitted he didn't pursue the difficult portfolio.
It's not something I wanted. It's not something I dreamt of. But I'm a team player.
And his demeanor in that interview, low-key, battle-weary, and almost resigned, is a far cry from the firebrand Julius Espat we used to know back when he was in the opposition. He was punching walls like an angry Samson and calling out members of his own party. In 2016, he had to be forcibly carried out of the House of Representatives by the police, the same police he is now minister of.
Well, the truth. It's the first time I've gotten beaten up by the police forces.
Inside the house.
God damn.
Honorable member inside the house.
All I was doing was trying to explain the level of corruption that this country is experiencing, and they beat me up. The Belizean people have to understand that I am not fighting for Julius Espat. I ain't the fight for PUP. I the fight for the people that put me here.
And even after that, he walked out of the House again a year later.
Madam Speaker, I take offense that he should accuse you of being undemocratic, okay?
Disrespect the House again.
You're walking out again?
Yes.
His party didn't follow him that time, but he also wasn't afraid to go against them.
The leadership of the party decided that they wanted to do it differently. They wanted to do it in their way. And so I humbly said, you know something, boss? Let's try it out. Okay. Do it your way. I will not fight you. I will just observe. And I observed.
Also known as my way or the highway.
Well,
you are not a team player, Julia.
They're trying the same method over and over again and expecting a different result. The PUP, they use bench players right now to make the decision for the party. The People's United Party have the greatest warriors that this country has ever produced. They have them on the sidelines and they got bench players right now to take the lead.
And one of the things that made Julius Espat entertaining in the House was his acerbic wit and dogged persistence.
My pronouncement is you are bipolar. There is something wrong with you. You are schizophrenic. Or in...
Madam Speaker, in anywhere in my presentation did I insult the Prime Minister as he is doing me? Go back. Madam Speaker, yes. This is the Prime Minister of a country that goes down to the gutter. Madam Speaker, he should be ashamed.
Prime Minister.
I should be ashamed and you should be taking medication because I'm telling you, there is something wrong with you.
The only person on record in this house that takes medication is the Prime Minister. And you know, Madam Speaker, more than anybody else, the medication for back pain affects your mind.
But has that fire that he had in the opposition died out now that he's in the government? Well, unlike before, this time he says he's a team player.
We are in the arena. And we made a decision and a commitment to serve. And that comes with positive and that comes with negative. And if the leader of the country and the leader of the party believes that he needs assistance, then we are team players. And therefore, there is no way we can say no. Yeah, we can say no, but I didn't.
Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll show you today's fatal accident and Belize's food, heritage, hunger, and memory. We'll show you how food transmits culture and history. Don't go away.
best football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
In Dolores, there's no electricity or phone service, and the nearest satellite clinic is still more than an hour away. For many residents, access to healthcare is rare. Some women have even given birth in transit while trying to reach the closest facility. That's why the arrival of the Isabel Palma Polyclinic 2 team is so important.
In our village, we don't have no transportation. So we have to pay someone to take us. If there is no service today, some of our patients, they have to go in PG or in San Antonio. We just come to see some doctors. We thank them for their precious time they give us today. And we don't have to pay.
Money travels fast. So make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Today, Eliseo Alonso became the most recent victim of a fatal road traffic accident. It happened on the Hummingbird Highway near Agua Viva village at mile 48. Reports suggest that Alonso lost control of the vehicle and was flung out the passenger window, causing him to crash to the pavement and succumb to his injuries. Investigation is ongoing. 27-year-old BDF soldier Alexander Frederick Reynolds has been remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being charged with attempted murder of police constable Pharaon Mushler. This comes after a violent confrontation at a repass in Lemonal village that left both men seriously injured. Reynolds showed up unrepresented before the Belize City Magistrates Court this morning, where he was formally charged with attempted murder, dangerous harm, and use of deadly means of harm in connection with the shooting of PC Mushler. Reynolds informed the court that he had sustained chop wounds during the incident. The incident occurred shortly after midnight on Monday during a repass in Lemonal village. An argument between Reynolds and Mushler escalated into a physical confrontation, during which Reynolds allegedly pulled out a 9mm pistol and fired at Mushler, striking him in the chest and shoulder. Mushler reportedly retaliated by chopping Reynolds with a machete. Due to the alleged use of a firearm, bail was denied. Reynolds was remanded to the Belize Central Prison and is scheduled to return to court on August 19, 2026. In early April, police made a record marijuana drug bust in Lords Bank, seizing over 1,000 pounds of weed with a street value of $1.6 million. An impressive seizure, but still no arrests have been made. Many have suggested that the police moved too hastily to make the bust and should have waited for the owner of the drugs to show up. We asked the commissioner for an update on the case today.
The Lords Bank drug bust, one of the biggest ever, but no arrests. Did police move too fast?
Not necessarily, and we are following that investigation closely, and I believe we should have arrest shortly.
And while we wait for those arrests, the police still have yet to charge anyone in connection to the number of missing persons whose disappearances are still unsolved. That should be Bree Authors and Ledini Martinez, who have been missing, fair dead for 82 days, and a mother and son who recently went missing in Pomona village. Here's how Rosado responded.
I want to say that in terms of missing person, the police department have been following our leads, and whenever leads come up, we continue to follow them. But we are doing all that is possible to locate these individuals.
We also asked the couple about the status of one of his officers after a video emerged of him being beaten in the street by another cop. It happened over the weekend outside a club in Dangriga. Rosado gave his version of what occurred.
We recently saw a video where Corpus Condis Mortis was being lashed by Sergeant Salam in the street. What is the story behind this?
Well, I was made to understand that there was some altercation at the establishment. And from what I view, I do believe that the police did use excessive force, hence the reason he was arrested and charged.
Sergeant Salam has been charged, but there are other videos which show that the corporal named Mortis, who was in plain clothes, may have initiated the hostilities with Salam when he didn't seem to want to pay to enter a local club. And while one officer has been charged, another has been promoted. despite being caught on camera abusing a female. According to Rosado, the victim decided not to pursue prosecution, and so even though the abuse was caught on camera, it did not affect this officer's promotional status.
Would you be able to discuss then the promotion of Corporal Wilbert Koch, who was caught on camera choking a woman? Why did you approve this transfer when you have said it's zero tolerance for that kind of behavior?
Please appreciate that the protocol or the policy for the police department is to arrest the perpetrator once a report is made. We cannot compel a victim to make or to pursue prosecution. And in this case, as I was briefed, that the victim asked us to respect her decision and that she will seek counseling instead of a family counseling instead of pursuing prosecution. Hence, there was no legal impediment preventing Cook from being promoted or the officer from being promoted.
Can you comment on the number of promotions that have been approved for officers who it is said did not even sit the promotional exam? Your comment.
Sometimes you have to stop, listen to stupidity. There's a process that is regulated within the Police Act on how promotion is done or promotion are done. It's initiated when an application are sent out or acceptance of application are accepted by the department. A vetting committee vet those applications. They are then shortlisted. Then after they are shortlisted, they then move on to the promotional exam. Those who pass the promotional exam, those applicants are then shortlisted to go before the promotional board. So there's an entire process that is legislated in the Police Act.
And finally, from the Kumpul, who did talk to the press for about 20 minutes today, we asked him about an insulting comment made about him during the UDP's recent press conference, where Chairlady Sheena Pitts compared his appearance to that of a children's cartoon character, Kalu. We asked Rosado about it today, and here's how he reacted.
How did it make you feel when Sheena Pitts called you Caillou?
Honestly, I'm not sure if I should comment on that, but let me say this. I was appointed as the Commissioner of Police to lead the brave men and women of the Belize Police Department and to ensure the safety and security of the citizen, not to engage in political theater. Some people might prefer to engage in personal attack. I choose to remain focused on the mandate that was given to me.
And changing gears now, according to the Statistical Institute of Belize, the unemployment rate in April 2025 was down by 0.2 points, going from 2.1% to 1.9%. As statistician Aronel Wade explained, this refers to those who are actively looking for work. However, she also explained that almost half the working age population were outside of the workforce.
The unemployed are defined as persons of working age who were without work but available to start work within the next 2 weeks and actively looking for work within the last 4 weeks. Thus, in April 2026, the unemployment rate stood at 1.9%. In April 2026, almost 3/5 of the employed population were males and over half of employed persons were aged 25 to 44 years old. 35.6% had completed primary level education, 27.5% had completed secondary level education, while 21.7% had completed tertiary level education. Of the employed population, 72% were employees, while 26.1% were self-employed. In April 2026, 46.0% of the working age population were outside the labor force, with women accounting for over 60%. 30.6% were youths and 34.7% were age 55 and older. Over half had never worked, more than 3/4 relied on family support for finances, and almost half stopped working due to retirement or being too old.
The SIB also reported that the economy grew a surprising 5.1% in the first quarter. Statistician Christopher House explained what contributed to that.
The first quarter, which is January to March of 2026, we saw that goods and services produced within that time totaled $1.454 billion, which is an increase of $70.8 million or 5.1% when we compare it to that same time period in 2025. In the primary sector, goods totaled $145.8 million, which is a 5% increase, and the key drivers within that sector was agriculture. Going into the secondary sector, goods totaled $200.3 million, an increase of 8.3%, and within that sector, the key drivers were manufacturing and construction. And then the last sector, tertiary, totaled $918.2 million, an increase of 3.1%, and the key drivers within that sector was financial and insurance activities and wholesale and retail trade. And lastly, taxes totaled $189.6 million, a 12.3% increase.
And the rise in fuel drove a sharp increase in consumer prices. In the first 5 months of 2025, consumer prices rose by 4.3%. Statistician Jaime Crispo spoke more about it.
Inflation was at 2.8% in May 2021, and then it rose sharply to a peak of 7.4% in mid-2022. Since then, inflation generally trended downward throughout 2023 to 2025. However, during the first 5 months in 2026, inflation went up and currently stands at 4.3% in May of this year. Turning to the graph on the right, the all-item CPI increased from 103.1 in May 2021 to 124.8 in May 2026. This upward trend indicates that consumer prices have continued to rise over the past 5 years. The steepest increase occurred between 2021 and 2022, while from 2023 to 2026, prices continued to increase at a slower pace. For the first 5 months in 2026, when compared to the same period in 2025, the cost of goods and services purchased by household increased by 2% on average. This was mainly due to an increase in almost all of the major CPI categories. First, we have the transport category, with prices increasing by 3.6%. This was mainly due to a rise in the cost for all types of motor vehicle fuels. The price per gallon for regular went up by 7.1%. For premium, it went up by 2.2%, and for diesel, it went up by 11.1%. And lastly, let's look at the housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels category, with prices increasing by 1.5%. This was mainly due to a rise in the cost of electricity, which was implemented at the start of the year.
Notably, consumer confidence went down 6.2% in May of 2026. And finally, coming out of today's SIB press conference, imports were up by 22.8%, while exports dropped by 29.5% in May of 2026. Statistician Ronald Oriana explained more.
Imports in 2026 reached a record high for this period, extending the steady upward trend that has been evident since imports declined in 2020. The total merchandise imports for the first 5 months of the year amounted to $1,375.1 million, up 18.7% or $216.4 million when compared to imports to the first 5 months of 2025. The total domestic exports for the first 5 months of 2026 amounted to $140.6 million, representing a decrease of 13.5% or 21.9 million compared to the same period in 2025.
And after the break, Belize's food heritage, hunger and memory will show you how food transmits culture and history. Plus, we'll have a preview of the latest Mirror Family Smart Stream leaks. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
You're up!
These charred remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023
in the
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sheree Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
If you're tired of baking your house with the only Cocoa Wawa fan and finally realize that the time to get yourself a good, durable, reliable fan, contact Myers Panel website or social media. Myers going to hook you up with one of their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan where might could even change your life as it keep you cool in this hot Belizean weather. Yes man, because their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers not just could blow your lip back way, they might could blow away your mind if you say blow away the toxic konomono out of your life and the bad vibes out of your house. Order your 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers website or on their social media, and Myers going to ship out your fan anywhere countrywide ASAP. Not believe me? Visit myerselectronics.bz right now to order your fan today.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
With deep sorrow and profound love, the Ingleton and Skeen families announce the passing of Everly Stephanie Skeen Ingleton. Everly leaves to cherish her memory, her beloved husband, Dion Ingleton, her daughters, Dana Foreman, Yannicka Matthews and Adriana Ingleton, and her treasured grandchildren, Micah Sewell and Omari Brown. She is also lovingly remembered by her parents, Ellison S. Skeen and Kathleen Lester Skeen, her brothers Ellison F. Skeen and Marvin Skeen, her extended family, her church family, her many friends, and her cherished United Democratic Party family, with whom she shared years of dedicated service, loyalty, and friendship. A woman of faith, compassion, commitment, and grace, Everly devoted her life to her family, her community, and her country. She touched countless lives through her kindness, generosity, attention to detail, and unwavering willingness to serve others. Her legacy will live on in the hearts of all who knew and loved her. Funeral services celebrating her life will be held on Friday, June 26, 2026 at the Cathedral Parish of St. John the Baptist, Albert Street, Belize City. The body will be received at 12 noon with funeral services commencing at 1 p.m. The service will be live streamed on Memory Page BZ, Wave Radio and Wave TV, Guardian Newspaper, Hot Off the Press, and Cowiz Funeral Home platforms. Sunrise December 7, 1967. Sunset June 18, 2026. May her soul rest in eternal peace and rise in glory. Well done, good and faithful servant.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Our next story is about the Belize Food Heritage Project, an initiative to document and safeguard Belize's diverse culinary tradition against globalization, urbanization, and climate change. Today at the Government House, participants learned about traditional Belizean cultural dishes, their origins, and the importance of preserving the recipes. Jaleesa Roberts was there and took a taste of what this project is all about.
Food is the universal language as humanity communicates through flavors and culture. They create a bond that only can be made upon passing a plate. The Institute for Social and Cultural Research at NICH is changing what it means to enjoy Belizean food by preserving it through the Belize Food Project. After 2 days of theory, today they got to cook. Among the participating chefs was Ainsley of Naked Kitchen, who is no stranger to either the kitchen or the camera.
I don't cook with fire hot for some years, you know. I remember when I'm young, originally for PG, it was hurt me when my granny does stuff for me when I was go get some firewood away from the bush and, you know, explain she want a certain type of wood too. So if you notice, this the way it touched me back, bring me back to my days, you know. But basically today I was doing a beef vegetable soup with a kalalo rice. Ingredients was very nice. The stuff that I get was very fresh, so it wasn't a problem for me. Everything, my colancho, my cassava, my pumpkin, my chocho, my yam, my okra.
With the preservation of this comes along with accepting that the younger generation might not want to go around this heat. I've been around it for 5 minutes and I'm next to cry. So talk to me, how is it that there can be better practices when working with a fire hot to ensure that you keep the flavor of the food without all of this, no?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't cook with fire hot, but now that I do it, I want to start go back to it so I could do my Sunday dinner for my fire hot, my stew down my beans for my fire hot, like how gas gone up now that could save me, right? So I love this one, yeah.
And the fire hot soup had the flavor that was worth the heat. The purpose of this project is to preserve the recipes and foods that make cultures set themselves apart and stand out. We spoke to ISCR Director Rolando Cocom.
We have not just one fogon operating, but 3 fogons, 3 fire hot, and 3 different dishes being prepared. And we're so grateful that the group of participants of more than 30 persons are interested to go out into their communities and document food traditions that they grew up with but are no longer as visible, and that are important part of nutrition, a part of well-being, yes, but also important part of Belize life. Food brings people together, and clearly throughout this workshop we have seen that people are learning about new dishes that they've never heard of, and that has been the case for me.
Participant Brianna Zabane Boyd believes that food proves how connected all cultures are.
From the beginning of it, when I signed up, I wasn't sure how it would have impacted me, but it impacted me way more than I thought of. I'm somebody that naturally wants to build my capacity, especially in cultural promotion and heritage. And this program in itself has given me more information that no book could have taught me. So as a part of being a tour guide, outside of being an ambassador, you also always have to be learning. So programs like this definitely promote that, especially when it comes to learning grassroots history or grassroots everyday practices that you wouldn't even hear. Like, I'm from Dangagatong, being in the Belize City District. I think that food is very important for cultural heritage in Belize because as a foodie, I am just connected to food. But I think if you truly want to immerse yourself into someone's culture, then you eat their food, because then you'll learn a little bit more about how they even became, how they got started. And then you can see similarities of how everybody is connected. Because if you eat fried fish, yeah, you'll see that they probably make fried fish the same way in our different culture. So it's a good way to keep the connection. It's really important in tourism as well because you have to eat. So if you can come to a country and try, let's say, 7 different foods from 7 different ethnic groups, come on, then you've truly, truly experienced a place.
Not many have the opportunity to visit places where these foods originated. But through food, they can experience a taste of both culture and its history. The decolonization of food in Belize is a continuous and delicious journey. one that this project helps advance by harnessing what might be called the hunger of memory.
And I think that's the beauty that this project is also seeking to have among Belizeans, is to share our each other culture. We have diverse histories. Because of colonialism, these food traditions have not always been well received in terms of their status. You know, you go to school and you carry your fried beans and canned tortilla, versus the other child that can take a sandwich. The sandwich seems to have a higher status, and we are trying to undo that impact of colonialism through this food heritage project as well. And at the national level as well, we think that if people eat more and more local stuff, it will be more beneficial in the long run. I mean, some of the issues that we're faced in terms of health and, these chronic diseases that we have. And so we want to be able to push that more so than processed food, more so than processed drinks. And so we know that's a long-term struggle that we'll have. But as you said, it's a universal language, and we think that it can have a big appeal for the local residents throughout this country, but also even for our international friends who come and visit to experience Belize in a new way.
Jalisa Roberts, 7 News.
The next workshop will be in San Ignacio. At the top of the news, we told you about the latest smart stream leaks from the Ministry of Defense for a company named Tropicana, which is not owned by any family member of the Mira clan. But just before news time, we got another set of data leaks for a firm to the Mira family. Area Rep Oscar's brother Keith is listed as an engineer at the firm. It's called Fast Construction and Road Development Limited, a sister company of FT Williams, which specializes in construction and road development. The company has qualified for a number of high-value projects with large contracts. The 10 screenshots and 120 invoice entries we have seen mostly follow the same pattern, with over 100 payments under the $10,000 threshold and only 12 invoices above 10 grand. So basically, 90% of all payouts to this vendor were kept under the $10,000 approval limit. And again, in the data we have seen, the Ministry of Defense processed almost all of the payments. We'll have a closer look in tomorrow's newscast. And finally tonight, 33 students from all across Belize were recognized under the Belize Police Department's Do the Right Thing program. They were nominated by their teachers for keeping up their grades and inspiring others by their example. Jo Marie Lanza has this report.
First established in 2005, the Do the Right Thing program, led by the Belize Police Department Community-Oriented Policing Unit, has been recognizing students all across the country for their resilience and determination to not only excel in their field of study, but also serve as an example to their peers, doing the right thing despite whatever personal challenges they may encounter. The program was dormant for about 7 years, and today the department recognized and awarded its new cohort for January 12th to May 15th. Senior Superintendent Gerald Jones explained how it works.
The program works where a student, or we will have the community policing officers visit various schools, secondary schools levels, because it is primarily for the secondary school levels. So the officers will go into the schools and talk about the program and market the program. And then there's an application given to the counselor, the teacher, or the principal for the various schools to recommend a student who has been facing a number of challenges within homes, personal issues, struggles, or even poverty. But they managed to still remain with their grades high in the classroom. So we see that as a best initiative in order for us to give back to them for doing the right thing, because they could have done something else, but they chose not to because of the challenges that they have been facing. They remain positive, and that is what we want to encourage, that we continue to do the right things.
The department rewards selected students with tools to assist in their educational endeavors and serves as a means of motivating them.
I must say that we partner with agencies, and we got school grants as well as laptop computers, as well as tablets and financial donations from different partner agencies, which we are grateful for.
Those will be distributed at another.
Those will be distributed with the top 5 receiving some of those tokens already, and the others have already received their certificates, as well as a t-shirt and a glass, and they have been invited to a luncheon such as this one with the Commissioner of Police.
We believe that community engagement, youth engagement is something that the police department must engage into. It's more than law enforcement, is more than just enforcing the law. It's also engaging the youth in positive ways, hence the reintroduction.
A total of 33 students out of the 44 nominations were recognized today. They hail from 18 different schools. And out of those recipients, we got to speak with the first and second place awardees.
I feel very excited but nervous at the same time because I never expect to come in first. And I feel like that was a good example I set for others, and I hope that how they follow and become. We learn how to get self-discipline, respect. We learn how to get development, and how not follow bad people. You do your own thing, following the right steps, and not make no bad decisions in our life.
What you want to become when you be an adult?
I want to become something in the medical field. I want tech science as my major.
The Do the Right Thing program really helped me to carry myself out as a person, because I was already doing behind the scenes work at my high school, helping out teachers, helping out my peers as well. And that really helped me shape myself into the leader that I am today. So what the Do the Right Thing program basically did was just enhance that sort of feeling that I already had, and showcase my talent to the wonderful people of Belize.
Jomari Lanza, 7 News.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great evening. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.